Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me today. So we're going to be looking at sharing ratios using the difference. So it's just kind of one skill to focus on today. So I'm just going to give you three questions based around this. So this first one then says, at a fancy dress party, people are dressed as either vampires or wizards. The ratio of people dressed as vampires to wizards is 5:2. So the question is, if there are 6 more vampires than wizards, how many people are at the party? So if you pause your video and have a go. Okay, so as you can see, I've already started drawing out the bar modeling here for this. If you wish to use that sort of method to help you. So we've got a ratio of 5:2. So we've got our vampires here. We've got our wizards here. Now this time it's not saying how many vampires there are or how many people there are in total. It's telling us there are 6 more. So these extra 3 parts for the vampires are worth 6. These extra 3 parts. If we do 6 divided by 3, we get 2. So what that tells us is that each part is worth 2. So we can now see we've got 10 vampires because 5 times 2 is 10. And then we've got 4 wizards because 2 times 2 gives us 4. And if we add those both together, we've got 14 people at the party in total. So quite easy arithmetic involved in, but there's a really common error people make. People think people ignore the more or the less there. So we know these extra 3 parts are worth 6. It's not the total, or it's not the number of vampires that's worth 6. So just to identify these questions, just making sure you read them very, very carefully. Okay. Our next example then, we've got the ratio of the number of tulips to daffodils in a flower display is 3:7. So we've got, what that means is we've got 3 parts that are tulips, and then we've got 7 parts which are daffodils. So it says there are 96 fewer tulips than daffodils. Find out the number of daffodils in the display. So if you pause your video and have a go. Okay, so if we take a look at this then, our 96 is worth those extra four parts. So we know there are more daffodils and tulips just from the ratio. So if we do that 96 divided by 4, we then get 24. So each part in the ratio is worth 24. So that's your one part. So we can write that on our bar model if you want to. Bear in mind, you don't have to use these bar models. You know, some people find them useful. Obviously, they're a bit more labour involved, but you don't have to use them if you can do it just with the sums. Now we can see the number of daffodils. So we've got 7 parts that are worth daffodils. So we need to do 24 times 7, which is going to give us 168 on this one. Okay, next one then. So it says Tom and Dave share some money in the ratio 1:3. So Tom's got 1 part, Dave has got 3 parts, and it says how much does Tom have? Okay, so if you pause your video and have a go. Okay, so if we take a look at this then, so Dave's extra £120 is worth an extra 2 parts. So 120 divided by 2 is 60. So we can write that on all of our parts now. And Tom, we can then see, has just 1 part. So it's worth £60. Okay, that's it for this video. So with this topic, with the ratio, with the difference, it's just looking for keywords, looking for words like more, less, fewer, things like that. And that will indicate to you that you've got to use the difference between the numbers in the ratio to figure out one part. Okay, so really read those wordy ratio questions very carefully. Okay, thanks very much for listening to this today. Please hit subscribe and there will be loads more videos coming your way. Okay, thanks very much for listening. Bye bye.